So I'm going to be moving on to chapter 361, Hunter x Hunter. So the last four chapters were actually pretty interesting because they're mainly focused on the Succession War. Pika's on his voyage and he's meeting up with them. He meets his new bodyguard friends. Sokka takes out two of the Phantom Troop members who resulted in him dying because Crollo used their abilities, and he killed two Phantom Troop members. He tied up Machi and he said he's going to kill the rest. Crollo's on the way to the Dark Continent because he thinks there's treasure there. There's untapped treasure there, so he's going to be coming onto the voyage. Succession War arc started off with a bang, where after the members were killed by the Nin parasite monster that 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 seemingly could have potentially killed all five bodyguards. Actually not even five, it would be seven. Because Woody dies from getting his blood sucked. Actually, low-key, considering that the people died differently, it's possible that Woody could have died. Woody could have died from different causes. Because the parasite infected. See here, the parasite's infecting these guys. It's not really doing anything to them. And then it possesses this guy who can use Nen. This guy can use Nen and it possesses him. Right, he's the one that can use Nen, right? Yeah, he can use Nen. Okay, yeah. All right. So it's possible that that Woody guy could have been he could have been a plant and he could have been killed. Actually, I have no clue how he could have been killed. Like, there's multiple ways he could have been killed. He could have either been killed by another bodyguard from a higher rank prince who can use Nen. He could have been killed by Wapple's Nen Beast. But it seems like Wapple's Nen Beast is actually the one that's attacking everybody. It seems like it's a parasite Nen Beast. I'm assuming that this is the Nen Beast. Well, it's hard to tell. It could be another prince's Nen Beast, which would then mean that some prince's Nen Beast is going on the offensive. 7 deaths in the Dark Continent, or the Succession War arc so far. Assassin's Dagger attacks. He pulls out the chain, grabs his arm with the knife, wraps it around him, and slams him. Alright, he's subdued. Bill, those 3 methods you mentioned earlier. We need Cyrid here to withdraw from the Succession War. Carton was the one we really needed, being a conjurer type. He could transform into a boat or vehicle that would be able to carry at most 5 people. Though being a joint type, he would have required the aura of other people. What is your type and ability? I was free, so it asked me for a favor. Without his explicit approval, I cannot just tell you what his ability is on my own. This is an emergency situation here. I'm asking you so I have the information I need to solve this as quickly as possible. Or was all that you said about ensuring the safety of the king and queen just a bunch of lies? Cyrid is an emitter user type. Though his ability is probably closer to an emitter's, he launches his Nin out in a ball, and then he's able to control any bugs that he captures with it. I see. That just may be of use. Cyrid is an emitter type. Wait, so why did he say it was a conjurer? Bill, those 3 methods you mentioned earlier. Will we need Cyrid here to withdraw from the Succession War? Wait, what? What were those 3 methods? Wasn't it like 3 methods of keeping the queen safe? Okay, I read it. He said he didn't explain his 3 methods. He was just about to explain them, so I didn't actually miss anything. All right, that's good. So Kurapika talked about, or Bill talked about this guy. This guy's name is Bill. he talked about the 3 ways to protect the prince. So seemingly, one of the ways is to escape. I'm assuming he's gonna say, and I didn't miss that. Okay. Carton was the one we really needed, being a conjurer type. He could transform into a boat or a vehicle that could carry out most 5 people. Will we need Cyrid here to withdraw from the succession battle? Bill. Okay, this is Cyrid, and he probably killed Carton. Who the hell is Carton? Who the fuck are these people, bro? God damn it, so many names. That's why I have to pay attention. I want you to leave one out. Leave one out, why? I'm fully in favor of your idea of having chains on each one of your fingers and assigning different powers to each one of them. But I just get the feeling that with those chains, you're trying to set up a situation where you can fight all on your own. And what's wrong with that? In a battle of Nin, the most important principle is that your opponent has many of his side, then you must as well. What? In a battle of Nin, the most important principle is that if your opponent has many on his side, then you must as well. Combining powers to attack and synergize between abilities far exceeds the strength of any individual's power. Well, I suppose once you actually fight, you'll know what I mean. So he's saying that Kurapika is not versatile yet. But by then, it will already be too late, which is why I'm giving you this warning now. Doesn't seem like you'll accept it. So instead, I propose a compromise. If, when you fight for real, you feel as though there's something you lack, then you should add an ability that will compensate for it. And you're sure this is what you want. I don't take you for the kind of person who would be satisfied even if they failed, as long as they were doing what they felt was right. You're more of the kind that would go over every single option to ensure that they had selected the best possible one to achieve their goal, aren't you? If you plan to go to war against a group of A rank bounties, then cast your personal feelings aside and find yourself some allies. I'm fine with allies. You mean you're fine with collecting pawns you can sacrifice when convenient? But that's not what I'm talking about. This is also something you'll learn once you fight alongside allies. Indeed, it's all exactly as you said it would be. Progressing forward like this was hardly a simple task. But that's why I want the strength to fight on my own all the more. Though reality isn't all that simple. Damn. What a complex character, man. Steel chain. What in the world? I'm going to borrow Cyrid's Nin ability temporarily. If I keep sucking out his aura with this syringe like this, I can even put him into a state identical to Zetsu. If the Nimbies we're up against are parasite types that require the aura of their hosts, then whatever that Nimbies put into Cyrid may also be its parasite type. In which case, if the aura it's feeding on disappears, then it should either exit his body or disappear altogether. Well, so even regardless, even if it's not a parasite type even if it doesn't put a parasite type Nen ability inside of him, if it even requires his aura to use, then Kurapika sapping his aura is probably gonna make his ability nullify. He's gonna nullify his ability. And what if it doesn't leave? If hostile evil Nen continues to assault him while he's in a state of Zetsu, then Cyred's mind and body would be destroyed. The safety of the queen and the royal heir are the utmost priority. If those worries and misgivings you're having should become reality, then the information we gain can be used to create more countermeasures against them. If I should be the next to die after this, that's how you must think as well. And Kirpik is doing all this to protect the prince. Wow. I mean, he let himself get possessed. I mean, he's gotta pay his debts. Of course, if you should be taken down by a different nin beast, then I would do the same in order to gain new information. That's messed up, man. You're on the chopping block, brother. GG. Pointer fingers. Emperor time. Equip stolen power. Equip completed. And now analyzing. Stolen ability's name is retry. The ability to control any small living beings caught in its ball-shaped nen. However, this does not include living beings conjured by nen. So I can't use it to hijack the enemy's ability. Ah, that was a smart plan. So he thought that because the nen ability is like a small ball that can control small living creatures, he tried to control the nen beast. But he can't use it against nen. That's kind of unfortunate. That nen beast just now has the power to control people using the keyword free. But if that requires the condition of being able to hear the voice of the nen beast, then that ability won't work on the princes who aren't nen users to begin with. Okay? If the condition requires being able to hear the voice of the nen beast, then the ability won't work on princes who aren't nen beasts, who aren't nen users, or who aren't nen users. That's true. Hmm. I'm kind of trying to think about like what the beast kind of represents. It kind of represents I think it would be Wapple's nen beast. I mean, Wapple's a baby and he wants people I don't know, to play with him or something, I don't know, or hold him. So if they're free to hold him, then like he's gonna, I don't know, he likes that. I don't know, maybe. Please search for an appropriate small living being to use retry on. Since the ability has been activated, as long as I am not released, Emperor's time will be forced to continue. Emperor's time has been active for, I know. Go on standby for a bit. Acknowledged. Bill, I think he should be all right. Now, please tie Cyrus to a chair. After I spoke with that huge stuffed animal looking thing, this other smaller one latched onto me, and was constantly asking me, "Are you free?" Somehow, it seemed only Nen users could see it. I tried telling it I'm not free, get lost over and over, but it didn't do a damn thing. Until finally, fine, I'm free now. What the hell do you want? As soon as I said that, I no longer had control over my body. After that, where's the murderer? The Kaken Kaken will be taken custody of and questioning him if you hand him over. If you would hand. He has to turn him over. That's what I would do if I was Carter Peak. I'm turning that guy over. What's happening with my powers? They're still in here. Then I'd like you to keep them and hang on to them. As much as I would love to, as soon as I use them once, they automatically return to their original owner. I see then. In that case, let me explain a little bit more about it. The largest creature that my power can control is about the size of a hamster. Even if that creature is in a different place from you, you will gain any information that it sees or hears. Being inconspicuous, you would think flies and mosquitoes would be good candidates, but they have many natural predators and often die to other bugs. Also, the one use you mentioned may also count a failure to capture something, so be careful. Even I have trouble capturing quicker and more nimble creatures sometimes. Damn, so he can only use the ball ability once? Damn, you have to be freaking smart with that. You probably want to pin something down so you don't miss it. Please make good use of it. Use it to find the real culprit. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's so much freaking information. I know it's kind of just one guy, but like, there's so much things that just happened. So like, first of all, this is the first time Togashi even mentions parasite types. Like, we kind of saw it in the Greed Island arc with that parasite monster that freed Krollo's Nen. We kind of saw it there, but he didn't really explain it that in depthly. I don't feel like it's the first time we see it. So the Nembeast, so the Nembeast possessed this guy because he's a Nen user and forced him into a condition where he would stab his compadres. Woody died from something else where his blood was sucked. So he had to have been compromised beforehand. I don't think none of the royal guards that infiltrated Kurapika's group can use Nen. None of them can use Nen because they can't see the Nen beast. And they were told to infiltrate to spy on the lower rank prince and to help their respective prince survive the succession war. But they were not behind these murders. They were not behind this Nen assault because they can't use Nen. Oh my gosh. So much stuff is happening. And Kurapika's using Emperor Time to control this ability. So this event was freaking massively important. I don't think that we can possibly endure any more of this. We do not care if we are arrested by the military or even banished, but please make this stop. Only 2 hours left until we leave the port. See, like this have to have been like 10 minutes. And 11 bodyguards are down to a mere 2. Dang, all of them? Wait, so what happened to the... Wasn't there one more guy? Or did he kill the other guy? Did he get rid of the other guy? Let me see. Which person did he take out? Wait, so this is Kurapika, him, and him. Can you see that? So I'm assuming these 4 people can use Nen. So Kurapika, Bill, this guy who's the Cyrid who was possessed, and this guy. Yeah, these guys are sweating, so they can all see it. So it's, what does his face look like? It would be this guy. He's right there. He's right there still. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh my god, his body was on the floor. That's so trash. He lost the other Nen user, and this guy was actually on Kurapika's side, probably. That's so unfortunate. And he was a conjurer, so he could use a vehicle. That's so trash. Oh my gosh. That's so unfortunate. That is so trash. You couldn't just take out you couldn't even just take out the bodyguards. You had to take out the other guy who's on their side. That's so unfortunate. So there's really only two people left. And the 11 bodyguards are down to a mere two. So we don't know what Bill's ability is, but that's so trash, man. I can't even believe that. Wow. You were in the middle of your explanation. But for the remaining two methods, are they still going to be possible without Carton? Yes, but one of them is extremely difficult and requires cooperation from Harrison. The other is even more difficult and requires the cooperation of Master Beyond. Is Prince Momose's protection really sufficient? Quiet. Being so nosy, she's already got 6 bodyguards. That's plenty. It'll just end up scaring him all the more. I want to make sure he's calm and feels comfortable. Besides, Mariam's protection is more important than hers. Come here. So this is the queen. I don't know which queen this is, but she's trying to protect her. She probably favors her, so she wants to protect her. Is that really okay? She can hear you? But what about our contract with Prince Momose? It's fine. I only made the contract for Mara's anyway. Don't worry, I'll still pay you. Damn, she really does not care about her. She really does not care about her. So then, is it okay if we go? Of course. Momose can look after herself, right? That is so messed up. Even these guys. Wait, this is Hanzo, right? Okay, this is Momose, and this is Maria, and this is her mother. So she only has two. She only has two sons, or she's a girl, so she only gave birth to two princes. So these are her only two daughters, unlike the other ones that have like four children. So she only has two. It's Mariam and this is Momose. So is Momose's protection really sufficient? Why she already has 6 bodyguards. That's plenty. Mariam's protection is more important than hers. Come here. Wait, what? This doesn't make sense. Momose, Mario. I feel like Momose should be older. This guy should be older, right? He should be. He's the 12th prince. That doesn't even make sense. Am I missing something? Mariam's protection is more important. Oh no, this is Momose. And this is Mariam. Mariam's protection is more important. This is Mariam. Because she's holding Mariam. Yeah, okay. And this is Momose. Okay. So she's actually trying to protect the her youngest. What about our contract with Prince Momose? It's fine. I only made the contract for Mara's anyways. Don't worry, I'll still pay you. She really favors this person. Yes, mother, don't worry about me. Okay, so she just doesn't she plays favorites. Like she really cares about she doesn't care about both of them. She only cares about the youngest. That's so messed up. You guys go relax in the other room next door. I'll be fine. Thank you very much for your consideration. But this is our mission, so if you don't mind. I feel sorry for Mother and Mariam. Is that so? Well, thank you for your hard work. People without even the capacity to be king. I haven't even done anything today, but I feel totally pooped. So she thinks that they're screwed. She thinks that they have no chance of winning. She's probably given up. Ooh, I wonder what's wrong with me. Having to go through that much hassle and worry. What about the prince's food? Nobody else is here. We're going to have to make it. We're going to have to make it. Who else? Whoa, you're amazing. Well, I've got a. So this looks like the monster that was infecting people. So it's probably hers. The 12th prince. 12th prince. Momose. Master Hulkenberg. It is time to take your leave. Well, then, excuse me. I look forward to the next dinner party. Master Hulkenberg. I'm just going to say goodbye to my father. Excuse me, it appears my son has something to discuss in private. Well, we can discuss the investment another time. What is it? Kwe. I am withdrawing from the succession battle. I only participated in the ceremony to save face for you, father. I don't need a crown won through bloodshed. Ho ho ho, do as you wish. Yeah, that's okay. So that's one guy who's not gonna be aggressive towards anybody. That's good for everybody. One of the most difficult traits to deal with of parasite types are the fact that their movements can't be read. There are many parasite types that use someone's residual thought energy to attach to a host. Then by borrowing that host's aura, they are summoned. Because of that, the host character and what they're thinking or feeling end up heavily influencing the parasite. Not to mention that even though these beings are almost always not even close to human form, the parasites is still ultimately born and raised out of the mixture of one human's thoughts and the thoughts of their hosts, as well created a tangled, complex life form. Are you also wondering if the prince would really choose to not participate in this war according to his personality? Of course, there are many of the princes whose personalities would rather avoid a war, but from the the fifth princes, none of them are the kind of people that would willingly withdraw from a situation like this. So if all the NIMBYs are parasite types that like feed off their hosts, then then Oito's saying that 1 through 5, all of them are gonna have aggressive NIMBYs that are like ambitious and vicious. So then the fight really begins after all the princes have returned from the ceremony. How about forming an alliance between you and I? That's my dog, the fourth prince. That man's lit, bro. That man's lit. Oh yeah. You're rather straight to the point. It's clear, cut, and simple. Point to make after all. Tyson the sixth prince, Luzurus the seventh prince, and Sail the eighth all have no desire to fight this out, and Hulkenberg the ninth isn't participating. From Cacho the 10th and down, they're far too young and have no power or connections, which essentially makes this a survival match between the top 5. Furthermore, the top 3 are far too ugly, arrogant, greedy, complex, consumed by luxury and excess. The first, the second, and the fifth. The first, the second, and the fifth, and then the third and the first. Oh no, the first, the second, and the third, and this is the fourth and the fifth. How about forming an alliance between you and I? He didn't respond, so that man does not care. He's not care. They should all be purged. In that regard, we are quite in agreement. Well then, I'll see you next Sunday. Right. That is if you're still alive by then. Oh gosh. That's my dog, the fourth prince. That man's so lit. So evil too. That's what you like about him. He's gotta be evil. He's gotta be evil. If he's not evil, then what is he? He would only respect you if you stayed alive, Loki. He only respects strength. Croak. Snort. Look at his paws. Has like he has heels on. This one has spikes. Looks like a lizard. Looks like it has 4 eyes. One, two, three, four. The guardian spirit beasts born from the pod are all imbued with the same rule-like instincts. 1. Spirit beasts may not kill one another. Spirit beasts may not directly attack a human whom another spirit beast is protecting. These are self-controlling instincts needed of NIMBYs that will guard the future king. Beasts with nothing but claws and fangs will soon be destroyed. The same is true for humans. In political and military strategies, indirect actions are essential. Those that are unable to find an attack upon the weaknesses of their opponents are simply mediocre at best. Okay, man. Okay, Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu in the Art of War, okay. If wasn't it like a head-on approach is the worst or something like that? Wait, what's the quote? Let me look it up. Yeah, so we have some quotes here from Sun Tzu. The Art of War. He who will he will win who has the military capacity and is not interfered with by the sovereign. So if you're not attacked, then you're gonna win. I mean, he pretty dumbed this down. He dumbed this down a lot, but it's pretty logical. He will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all of his ranks. So being unified and being strong. He will win when to fight and when not to fight. So choosing your battles. So that's what that other prince was doing. He's trying to make an alliance and choose their battles. But you still need to be strong here, as Sun Tzu notes with the military capacity point. He who has a military capacity and not interfered with. So you have to be strong. You have to be, your army has to be unified. He will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. So how to choose your battles. If you choose your battles well, if you have a strong military, if you use your wits and take your enemy unprepared, then you're basically going to win. And a bunch of other stuff here. Sun Tzu is pretty logical and pretty smart. Yeah, that kind of seemed like what they were trying to say. The era of warring chiefs, my ancestor, who was the leader of a small country, was liable to be assimilated by the countries around it created. Around it created the pot. The result of his children, who all deemed the country worthy. The result of all of his children, who all deemed the country worthy in fighting to unite it, built up the very foundation of the present country. So Cochrana's militarism and expansionist principles of colonialism come from being a small nation and being dominated by others. So they have to. So this is kind of like why he values. It's kind of like why he made these rules, or like why these rules are made to because king has to be smart, he has to be wise, because he needed to their nation was dominated dominated by powers that were stronger than them, so they needed to have some level of competency, presumably. For the spirit beasts whom excel in providing back end support to attach themselves to a king who overflows with the ability of foresight and careful and deep planning, that is the magnificent destiny of a Puego Ro family. On this ark, which has been loaded with 200,000 offerings, they should be able to cut through to their heart's content. Wow, so we really get to see all the Nen beasts this chapter. So we saw Momo's eyes. We saw Momo's eyes. I don't know who this is. Who is this? Gotcha. I don't know who the fifth prince is. So Seredinich. We saw his on the first day. We saw him before. So Loserus. Or not Loserus, it's what's his name? What is this guy's name? Do we have his name? Shangle. Shangle. Okay. And let's actually figure out what her Supepa. Supepa. Shangle. Camilla. So she has like a spore with all these eyeballs. Now, she just looks evil. I'm not even gonna lie. She just looks evil. This guy's the most cunning out of the five that they've shown so far that aren't Benjamin, because Benjamin's just he's evil, obviously, but most of them are evil. To be fair, they are powerful though. They need to be powerful. She just looks the most evil out of all of them. The five princes. He's very stern and powerful. Until one blessed, chosen one remains. How will you explain this to Seredinich? There are phantom beasts crawling all about that ordinary humans can't see. So don't leave your room. How about that? That's full of taboo words. For example, ordinary is the one word that you absolutely cannot say to the prince. He would probably kill you if you said that. Can't see also carries a nuance implying that there's something that the prince can't do, so that's also out. That's true. Besides Phantom Beast is liable to drive the prince's curiosity through the roof. Saying don't leave your room is pretty much the same as saying get out. I can't do this. I'll leave this just to you. If I explain it to him, he will undoubtedly ask me about Nen. The problem is, if honestly answer and tell him about Nen abilities, he will most certainly want to acquire them. Well, we're the only two that can use Nen in his private army. So just so so can't you just tell him that there are powers you have been born with? No, you can't say that to the prince. What? Man, it must be good to be you. Hey, no matter how dumb I am, even I can tell when I'm being made fun of. All of the prince's bodyguards have already ended up hearing the word parasite type Nin Beast on the emergency channel. They can't exactly not inform the princes about that, can they? So then we can just say it's a special kind of beast that was born with Nen powers. All the princes. Do you actually think that all of the prince's bodyguards are going to come up with the same convenient explanation that matches yours? Yeah, so the only way that works is if all the princes say that. Yeah, that's kind of true. To Prince Seredinich, Seredi, Sered, Sered. It will seem like a completely unknown power, so he'll surely use all his strength and ability he has to gather all the information he can, as will the other princes. If we're not extremely careful with our lies, he'll figure it out, and then it'll be too late to try and fix it. So then we'd end up in a situation where the prince won't stop until he gets Nen power for himself. Yes. What are you getting so mad for? I'm mad we're still talking about this instead of what we were before. Thanks to your moronic interruptions, we got totally derailed. What are they talking about? I don't think they got derailed. They kind of seems like they're on topic, right? Aren't they just talking about how they explain things to the prince? That's kind of what they're talking about. Or maybe she's just teaching him etiquette. Or maybe she might just be teaching him etiquette. So then, why don't you teach him then? If you do that, at least you can take some kind of precautions. That's honestly kind of your best bet, low key. What is it that you're worried about specifically? The prince's potential to use it for evil, right? I mean, what would really happen if that dude, Hoops, don't tell him I called him that, if the prince actually acquired Nen? If the prince acquiring Nen is inevitable, then how about, for instance, that we have him trained in the exact opposing Nen type, or maybe have him learn some completely useless ability? I'd love to hear more about that. The prince will retire. For now, would you gather all the bodyguards together? Yes, sir. Since our only choice seems to be to since our only choice seems to be to simply diminish his Nen capacity. Without a doubt, he'll be asking everyone soon. Is there anyone of our bodyguards that can use Nen abilities? When that time comes, if you raise your hand, things should just naturally flow towards that outcome. All bodyguards assemble in the front entrance of Area 4 while it's already time. So this guy's pretty smart. He's pretty decently smart. He doesn't have a lot of etiquette, but he's seemingly a pretty smart person. My example was a bit extreme, but I'm sure you'll be able to make something work out. Not only can you lower the effectiveness of his training by a substantial amount, but you'll also be buying time. So he's giving her the role of teaching him. He's probably not going to say anything, probably. I can tell you don't think this is the best option. So there really is no other option, low-key. We also know it's better than our present situation. If the prince is just going get someone else to study under, then you're better off training him yourself. You'll be guiding and teaching him, and even if just a little bit, you might be able to change him towards a better direction. I can absolutely assure you that on this boat, the only person capable of doing that is you, Theta. Man, that's a lot of trust. That's not fair. Well, seriously, do you think I'd be capable of doing it? It really must. It really, really must be good to be you. Oh, you sounded sincere there for a minute. Shut up. But, yes, sir, understood. It's just as Sarkov says. I don't have any other choice. So this is Sarkov. An evil mind will create evil Nen. If one of the other princes learns Nen first and attacks Sered, with that power, then his own power would awaken. If Prince Sered were to gain Nen abilities that way, just thinking about it gives me the goosebumps. Oh yeah, that guy would be completely evil. That guy would be completely evil. He was freaking try to. That's over. The only one that can stop him is me. Theta, don't look. Theta. Freaking scared out of her mind. All she's doing is looking down the hallway. Look at that saliva dripping out. Ooh. That's pretty scary, Loki. I see. There's a guardian beast behind my back, and although he is my ally, I'm unable to directly command him. And this Nen power, does it take time to acquire it? Yes. As a rough estimate, to be able to see would take almost a year. Then I ain't interested. Just like I originally planned, I'll go for Thubepa first. With strange powers entering the fray, things may reach a stalemate. But if the princes and their soldiers above me don't have any knowledge or information about Nen, then I suddenly find myself standing at the very top. So he has 3 bodyguards that can use Nen. Seredinich only has 2. Even though he's a higher ranked prince, he only has 2 bodyguards that we know of. I ain't interested. I'll go after Thubepa first. One of you organization members will stay by my side at all times and shifts. If any other Nenbeast appears, I want you to report all their actions and movements to me. Yes, sir. If the oath ceremony is the cause, then that means all of the other princes have Nenbeasts attached to them as well. So this guy also has parasites surrounding everybody. I think my Nenbeast would look like an angel. How do they really look? Oh, so this is his. Well, weren't those the same? So wait, so were there multiple beasts attacking Kurapika? Were there multiple beasts attacking Kurapika's group? Because weren't the royal guards? They had Nen beasts attached to them. So maybe it's if they're malicious. If they're malicious, maybe they get those. I don't know. Kurapika is malicious. I don't think that's a. I don't know. I'm speculating too much. Well, if I had to pick, I'd say that they were closer to fairies. Like for real, I had no idea fairies were even an option. My mind's totally blown. Besides, I think fairies are like so much more me, don't you? But what is that thing behind her that's laying all of them? I'm sure fairies are filling this ship full of love. I think the princess might be more like a shroop than a fairy. Ah, I know exactly what you mean. Oh, stop, you're making me blush. Her face when she's blushing is so cute. So these guys are like freaking. It seems like it's making them more docile and making them like her more or something. He says it's love. Oh, that. It's party or something. Ha ha ha. That's it. Perfect. Y'all better party your fucking brains out today. Got that? Yeah. The succession war can choke on my dick. Fuck that shit. Yeah, you're fucking dead. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. You're dead. Ooh, are you already dead? We're not even a chapter later? What is this? What happened here? Well, the trump card makes an appearance. That's pretty scary. Well, the trump card makes an appearance. You heard the emergency channel earlier, didn't you? No one here knew what the word Nenbeast meant. What about you? Do you know anything about it? Yeah, this thing would probably kill her if she said no. I was naive. Of all the people, he is the one person that absolutely cannot be allowed to master Nen. That guy is so evil, man. That guy is so evil. I didn't tell this guy's freaking evil, man. Oh gosh. Look at his nature. Like, what is this? What is this? Like, how would you even describe this? All right, this is me while recording while editing my video, Rex Hunter. I did want to note that what I didn't actually talk about was that I did talk about a little bit, but a lot of these past two chapters were kind of centered around like the nature of them beasts and like what they will do. Like that's why the king was explaining the rules about what they will do, and he was explaining like that the Nimbies are affected by their nature. So the fact that so by us later being revealed that the queen has a bad relationship with Momose, the 12th prince, then her using those Ninbeasts, her Ninbeasts that were like asking, "Are you guys alone?" That's like representative of like her character of being like lonely and all that. So like, and Serenity, being evil and like he has like malicious intent in mind for wanting to learn Nen. That's why his Nen beast is so aggressive and threatening. That's just something very quick. Strong, long. So I think this is supposed to represent like beauty because it kind of has like a beautiful face, kind of. Maybe it has lipstick and stuff. Beauty that's disguised as a monster. So he's really a monster. So this guy's among all the other men beasts. Like the other ones are kind of just like frogs and uh like different animals. I know Benjamin's was oh, it's not in this chapter. So he's a monster. That's his nature. If Tyson is a fairy and like lover or whatever, this guy's a monster. Of all the people, he is the one that absolutely cannot be allowed to master Nen. Man's evil. He's evil. Oh gosh. Yes, it's a word that has to do with a special kind of ability. Oh, as expected of my little Theta. By chance, are you able to use this power as well? Yes, sir. I have no choice. I can use it. She's so intimidated, man. I mean, I would be intimidated too. I mean, this is pretty scary. I even see the eyeballs on the side. So he's all seeing. He's all seeing. He's a monster. He wants to. I think we saw every other Nen beast, right? I think no. I think we only saw 7. We saw the first. We saw the second. We saw the third. We saw the fourth. We saw the fifth. We saw the sixth. We saw the seventh. I don't know if we saw the eighth. No, we did saw the eighth. The eighth was the party guy. The ninth, maybe. I don't know if we saw the 10th. We saw the 11th. No, we saw the 12th. We saw the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th. So we haven't seen the 11th and the 10th. I think. We haven't seen the 11th and the 10th. Yeah, we haven't seen the 11th and the 10th. No, the 11th and the 12th. No, we saw the 12th. No, we didn't see. Wait, time out. Let me look at the names. We saw 1, we saw 2, we saw 3, we saw 4, we saw 5, we saw 6, we saw 7, we saw 8, we saw 9. Oh yeah, we did see 9. I don't think we saw 10. We haven't seen 10. We haven't seen 12. We haven't seen. We haven't seen 10, 12, 10, 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, and 14. Ironically, the lower rank princes we haven't seen. At least from my memory. So we saw all those Nen beasts. All the royal guards are inquiring about Nen. And assuming that the only people who can possess Nen are the royal family because of this ritual that the royals had to go through to keep their country alive. I'm assuming that only the royal family has Nen, which means none of the royal guards have Nen, probably. Yeah, because it says one of the organization members. Because these are all 3 organization members by this guy's own words. So the only people that know are the organization. So no royal guards have Nen powers. It's only the association. So Kurapika lost all of his bodyguards for Prince Wapol. So it's going to be a lot harder for them to protect Wapol in the first place. Man, that's a terrible first 2 chapters. That's literally in the same day. They literally said in like 2 hours they lost 9. They lost 9 bodyguards. Well, I hope this video was pretty fun, pretty interesting, and all that. I'll definitely get to more chapters soon, later, and all that stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. See you.